around, or we should be taking notes?
If you want to try to do this, we're going to create our virtual machines that you need to have.
Oh,
Okay. I wouldn't, after I create these machines, I wouldn't go any further than this. You're just going to create the machines. You're not going to configure anything.
okay. Create the machines and then just take notes from
Right.
what you're doing.
New hard disk. Different C disk, like always. I'm going to call it NAT. Guys, I'm just going to delete all these disks. When you click Browse to find your parent, delete all these disks. Oh, no, not you, not you.
We won't have.
Not you. Yeah, you.
And put me on this computer.
Well, you chose that computer, and
That's
it's.
the only thing there was.
I'm going to browse to my parent disk.
PhD, right?
Yes.
Okay. Alright. Yeah, I've only got Cent, Kali, and Server, and 8.1.
I don't know what they're doing here.
We're doing 2012, right?
Right. I'm probably going to move you to another computer. And I'll have it set up for you, David. Okay, I'll have this all ready for you because that machine already has a bunch of machines on it already. And I don't want to delete them. So I'm going to create another,
Another hard disk?
right, DC1 through 4.
Not making any machines yet, though, right? Just the hard disk.
Right.
Do you have a preference? I'm just going to use this instead. That
Fine.
way just put it in the back of the room and carry it from room to room.
That's fine. And do me a favor, give it to Yuri. So he's doing that today.
Okay.
Okay.
And then we'll give you the SD or we'll upload it or something.
Right.
Okay, cool.
If he complains, just tell him I can't be there.
What's up? Is that for me?
Yeah, if he complains, just tell him I can't be there. You know, and it's beyond my control.
Okay. If he complains about just
Having to deal with the recorder.
Honestly, I don't think I've ever heard Yuri complain about anything ever.
Okay. He sometimes does it.
He gets like a loud,
Like-
humorous
like-
noise, but he doesn't really get angry or anything.
Yeah.
It's like
Okay.
a comical.
Guys, I'm going to create the virtual machine called NAT now. I'm not going to boot it, guys. We need to do one other thing. Guys, I'm going to connect it to fake public.
We're not doing this, right?
Yeah, create your NAT, virtual machine, and attach it to the fake public.
Oh, okay, so the virtual machine now.
Using the existing hard disk you just created.
Dynamic. And connected to fake public?
Right. Okay, so now I want to go into the virtual switch manager, add a private network, a private switch called private.
You did,
Guys, this is public. This is fake public. And this is going to be private.
So you went to settings and then
No, no.
network adapter for the NAT?
No, not yet. I just created a virtual switch called private.
Where did you do that? Hyper-V?
Hyper-V Virtual Switch Manager.
So it's private and you call it private?
Right.
Now it's public, big public, gotcha.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm going to go to my settings on my NAT. Now I'm going to add that network adapter
You're gonna add it private.
and attach it to the private.
How much is not there?
If you don't have a private here, you didn't press OK or something here.
It's there on my virtual switch manager for the real machine.
Okay, did you add hardware? And in the drop-down box, what do you have?
Well, the virtual switches, right?
Right.
Got public, big public, private.
Okay, highlight, private. Okay, good, okay. Now go to settings. Add hardware. Oh, no, you already have it. Highlight it here. Okay, press cancel.
No, private.
I think you had it open before. Go to settings. Add hardware.
Private, right?
Yeah. You just had the download box already open when you created the switch. Okay. Guys, I'm going to start that. I'm going to create 4 more virtual machines, DC1 through DC4, all attached to private. Brian, could you do me a favor, boot that machine up? Yeah. David, where would you rather sit? Here or the machine behind? This one right here, that one right there.
That one's
No,
open.
it's like
That one's open too.
already.
This one right here.
This, no, Brian was in here. Why'd you move over?
You just move. There's no reason.
Oh, okay, I could sit you here, there, or the center computer.
Yeah,
Oh, no, not the center computer. That's
All three are done.
Yeah,
okay. This one's done.
This
Yeah.
one back, these back 2 rows are.
yeah.
Oh, okay, here or here.
I'll take the front row.
Okay, that's where I'll set you up. New virtual machine. DC4. Okay, I'm going to connect to my NAT router. Guys, the one that gets a fake public IP address is going to be your public on this net. Because remember, we normally figure out the one that says CSE is public. Well, this time it's going to be the fake public one. Will be our public. Okay, guys, I might not use this IP scheme, so don't go on from here. You're just watching at this point.
Around the net, right?
Right. Look, if I double click here and go to details, I can see Contoso.com. This is the one. This is this interface here. So that's the one I'm going to call public. And this one is going to be private. So from this point on, it's like normal, what we set up, but the only difference is we're going to use that fake public IP address that we talked about, which is, according to the diagram, 131. This part will be the same on your lab. Default gateway is what?
2x4,
Who's my DNS server in this diagram?
DC1, right?
Right. Okay?
And this is the IP setting for the public, the fake public.
Yeah, or the public. Well, yeah, but it's really
Or
the
the
fake.
public, right.
Yeah. And the private, do you want me to go back to that?
You can't prove it, but DNS is the only IP scheme you say, right?
Right, so that's why you're not going to do this right now. You're just going to watch. (172.16.0.1). No default gateway. 172.16.0.2. There's my IPs. I'm going to rearm. Software license manager, rearm. I'm going to install routing. Rename, reboot. Okay, guys, while that's going on, I'm going to go to DC. Guys, create one more machine. I forgot. We're missing our DA. Create a differencing disk. Call it DA for direct access.
We connect this to the private.
And then make
Yep.
a machine as well?
Yep, and connect it to private.
Right.
I want to go to DC1.
Sir, I'm not sure if this is entirely right, for what you have written up on the board, you have DCDNS and DC. I'm presuming DCDNS, that's one, and the other one is two.
2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Then the DA. And they're all going to have DNS installed.
I'm trying to separate myself from worrying about the numbers and realizing that in this case, position is what matters most, meaning we could assign any numbers we want.
However, you're gonna set them up. We'll draw your own diagram, it's probably the best way to do it, so you know which.
Right.
one.
2 are going to be parent DCs, 2 are going to be on the child. 2 domains, 1 parent, 1 child.
Now you're on DC one.
I'm on DC1. Uh, 172.16.02, 172.16.01, 10.13.25, 10.13.27. Those will be my forwarders. Once I'm done promoting, software license agreement.
Or if we rename the machines, like CS14, keep the same names as we have.
Yeah, that's fine, guys, if you want to rename the machines, but it's not going to,
We don't have to do the station that we're at here, or do,
right.
I'm so used to autopilot to doing that now, so.
Computer name, yeah, it's not going to save you any large amount of time. New name is CS01 VM2-restart. Guys, I'm going to go back to my NAT machine and configure I can't do it because I need to do a restart. So I'm going to do my rename. Rename hyphen computer dash new name CS01 VM1 restart. So that didn't get installed.
So it means it didn't get installed in ours either?
Well, my machine, because I don't think you didn't even go to that point. But I'm just saying on the NAT for our private network, it didn't get installed. You didn't even attempt that. So I'm going to install Active Directory. Sorry, I put it in the wrong order. AD, domain, services.
Does it matter if you put them in the wrong order? No?
When creating user accounts, it does. But in this case, no. While that's installed, I'm going back to my NAT, and it's still not ready.
Hey, sir, loosely, you going from machine to machine, I remember early on, maybe even all the way back to the last class, you had explained that a lot. Really all it is you're maximizing time.
Right.
And I was going to say, it's just you're not obligated to sit there and watch like we used to. You're just going from machine to machine because you can.
Right. And especially at this beginning stage where I'm just configuring IP address and host name and installing software, why sit there and watch this go across? Okay, I'm back on my NAT, guys. Okay. I'm just kind of waiting. Okay, guys, I'm going to install, my NAT's still not up, I'm going to install ADDS Forest? Yes. Domain name is, no, I'm not.
We can do this graphically, right?
Password equals PA11WRD, convert to secure string as plain text, force. I'm going to install ADDS Forest. Domain name will be contoso.com. The password is $password. And that's it. I should have did force, but I didn't.
Is this promoting the DC after you install the role?
Yes,
So you want to do graphically, we can.
right. Okay, guys, while that's promoting, I'm going to go back to my NAT finally. Yeah, I'm up and running. And now I'm going to install NAT.
Still unsure as why it didn't install, because you have to restart.
It was pending a restart. Because,
Oh, the SLM,
yeah, I did that first, which requires a restart, so you can't install software if there's a pending restart. Guys, that was really bad in Windows 95 days. If you installed a driver that required a restart and then installed a second driver, the first driver never just kind of disappeared. Okay, guys, let's take a break while this is going on. It's installed. I'm going to configure my NAT. Just like always, NAT, public, finish. Now we're going to have to open up ports. I'm going to drill down IPv4 NAT, highlight public, properties, service and ports. Web server. I'm sending it into this machine. Let me get a different color. All these ports are being sent to here. That is going to be .3.
we don't know what the C is, right?
Right. I am also going to do that to 443, to port 80, port 443. Then I'm going to add one. I'm going to call this direct access port 62000. Again, same IP. So all three of those, 62,000, 443, and 80 are going into 3. Now I'm going to add another one. DNS, UDP, and of course select UDP. DNS is port 53. 2. DC. The DNS server that's on that DC. Okay, I'm going to close this down. My NAT's done. I'm on my DC now. It's promoted. If you want, you can test connectivity. Ping 8.8.8.8. So that's pinging through both NATs. I know those other two machines are configured properly. Now let's check my DNS hierarchy. Can I resolve outside names? Yes. So my DNS, up until this point, everything is configured correctly. I'm going to go to DNS.
You can also ping google.com to see if it resolves it, or
I did NS lookup. Don't test name resolution with ping. Test with NS lookup. Test connectivity with ping by pinging an IP address. Test connectivity with, ping, and test DNS name resolution with NS lookup. Guys, I created my reverse. Register DNS. Register DNS client rather, without the slash. Okay. Go back here, hit refresh. You should have a pointer record for the machine you're on. Now I'm going to jump to my direct access server. Guys, I'm going to be smart this time. I wish we didn't have to rearm because that messes things up. Install Windows feature. Okay, dash name. Guys, I'm going to say routing, but I really want direct access. So if I just type routing, that will install direct access. Include management tools. So I'm not going to set this up as a NAT route. I'm just going to use this as a direct access server.
the registered DNS client, you did a PowerShell. When you do that command prompt, it's something else.
ipconfig space / register DNS.
Okay.
Guys, the test has a lot of PowerShell commands. Most notably, how do you convert a graphic to server core? Chapter 1, the 7410 book. That's where that answer is.
DA is where we actually do the configure the NAT with the notification. That's,
I'm saying?
once we install the name routing, then we actually click the notification for the DA, and that's where we
Yeah, it's going to have that drop down
box.
under the notification tab. This is the only scenario where we've used that, yes.
So anytime that we ever configure the routing, we'll not access that way. You created the reverse lookup for the private network, right?
Yes. Guys, while you're waiting for this to install on your test, start moving on, doing IPs for the other machines. DCs 2 through 4.
We can't do IPs, can we?
Yeah.
We don't know.
Well, I'm saying during your test, while you're waiting for something to install.
And on the network connections, you go ahead and click the properties, it says the 131.0.0, you know, that's the fake public.
Right, which we're calling
We're
public.
calling public.
Just to make it part of the video, guys, for this video, I didn't show you how to do this, but we installed NAT on the real machine. We have an internal switch and an external switch, and a DHCP server on our real machine. This is going to create that fake internet public IP address. I want to pass out a range of IPs. The full network address, full classful network address, excluding the first and the last. The first is going to be assigned to our public interface on our NAT router that's part of our lab. And the last one is configured as the fake public on this machine. This is an internal switch. This is a external switch. Inside of our network, all of our computers are going to be either attached to, our NAT router is going to be attached to the fake public and the private. All other machines will be attached to the private. Okay, my DA is installed. I'm going to configure the IP address. New net IP 172.16.0.3. The prefix is 16 bits. The default, the interface is called Ethernet, and the default gateway is 172.16.0.1. I'm going to set my DNS client to 172.16.0.2. That's my DNS server, and interface alias is Ethernet. I'm going to add computer dash domain would be oh, guys, I'm also going to rename at the same time. CS01 VM3. I think we're at.
Yeah, what you're at, yeah.
Are they using PowerShell for the IP information? That's not something you had to do, that's something you chose to do.
Right.
Okay.
If you remember the command, it's definitely quicker, but.
And I forgot to rearm.
Actually, I thought you had done that minutes ago, though. Hadn't you done that, hadn't you done that command and then you went into the setup?
No, I forgot. So I have to reboot again, guys. Again, don't sign in here. Contoso. No, I talked about it. I said I wish we didn't have to rearm and just
Yeah.
and didn't do it. to reboot. We're doing the simplified version of DA. We're not setting up a certificate server, getting certificates for all of them. We're going to let it do a self-signed certificate. If you do it right, it'll create all your policies and everything for you. And your clients are going to get those policies. Guys, I'm going to show you an example of that WMI filter again, because it'll be here. We're not going to use it, but it'll create it. I'm trying to get my notification to show up. Okay. No big deal if it doesn't show up. All it does is say you have to go into.
It showed up.
Oh, okay. Guys, if it doesn't, just go here.
Remote access.
Open the Getting Started wizard. Either will take you to the same place. We're going to do direct access only. Guys, I screwed up. I need to create an entry for my public interface in DNS. I need to go to my forward under Contoso, new host, public 131.0.0.1. Create that public record. It makes your life a lot easier. Guys, this is from chapter 11, and they start talking about at the beginning of the chapter. Page 287, the name resolution policy. If you have this done, this will configure your name resolution policy. Remember, we go in there and we edit the names. We get rid of that web proxy thing. If you remember that. Guys, don't check this. It'll just generate an error. I don't have a reverse for my public IP network. So I'm just going to click Add Host. I'm going to go back to my DA. Now type in behind the edge device, meaning I'm not on that NAT router. What is my public name or IPv4 address? public.contoso.com. We're going to edit the settings. I can do this after the fact, but it makes my life a lot easier. I can't remember what I need to edit, so I'm just going to go look at all of them. Direct access, that's fine. Those are my GPOs. Remote client. Guys, we don't have any laptops. Our VMs won't get this if we leave this checked. That creates a WMI filter. You got to be careful with that. Guys, I'm going to create a group on my DC. Which I should have done earlier, called Direct Access Clients. And what I would put in here as members is your client. Make sure you check computer accounts and you find your client, whatever your client is. I don't have that set up. So I need your client to be a member of this group. Because if you just left it as domain computers, your DC would get this policy and everyone, but we're going to make it so only that those clients get it. Create a client, join it to the domain, add it to this group.
Client's gonna be another machine we're gonna make?
Yeah. If you want to make it to test. So I'm going to remove this and add direct access clients. Guys, if that network connectivity assistant doesn't start, then the reason being is that NCA, if it doesn't start, it's not getting the policy. Guys, in the past, I had you create a web server as our web proxy location service. We don't really need to do that. It'll do it for us. So I'm going to hit finish. So the only thing I've changed there was I unchecked mobile, removed domain computers, added direct access clients. Let me see if I need to change anything here, and I don't think so. None of this needs to change. Guys, is that the IP of our DNS server? No.
.2, right?
But don't change that, because that's going to be the IP of our IPv6 DNS server for these direct access clients. Even though we don't have DNS installed on this machine, it will act as a DNS server for IPv6 name resolution automatically. So that's the only thing I need to change, was just under this remote clients, click finish. And guys, it should create our GPOs. Don't worry about that one warning. I showed you how we're going to fix this. Okay? So that's good. Name resolution policy table. We need to go look at that. Warner DC. So I'm going to go to Active Directory users and computers and group policy management. We can see our GPOs are there. They're linked to our domain. They're created under group policy objects. I'm going to go to this direct access client setting. Go edit. And I'm trying to remember where this is at. Okay, here. This is that warning we got. It's under here. So I'm going to go expand this. I'm going to grab public. Guys, and we might be able to get away with this. I don't know if we have to do this, but I'm going to edit this rule.
Edit the public rule.
Yeah, I'm going to edit all of them just to make sure this happens. Under the second tab, we uncheck this. Update. We have no web proxy. Edit the rule, uncheck the web proxy. Contoso, edit the rule, web proxy isn't selected. Good. So for both of these others, I just uncheck Well, this didn't take update. I forgot to hit update. So, edit the rule, it's good. Edit the rule, it's good. Now hit apply. Okay, guys, the other thing I gotta figure out is, does anyone remember where where is it? Under here? No. Administrative templates, network, TC, PIP settings, IPv6 transitioning technologies, and then we want to find all the states, except for this one. Do not touch IP over HTTPS. For the 6 to 4 state, we want to enable it and put it in a disabled state. Enable the rule or the policy and put it in a disabled state. Same for ISATAP. Enable it, put it in a disabled state.
So it's all states except the HTTPS, right?
You should have 4 rules here enabled. The simplified method only uses IP over HTTPS. So for our policy, under our name resolution policy, we got rid of the web proxy. Under computer configuration policy, administrative tools, network, IPv6 settings, and IPv6 transition technologies, for all the states, we set them to a disabled state except for this, which was already done. Edit. You can see that the default state is there. And it puts in our public IP. That's why we had to open that 443 up. Because we need to open that up to our direct access machine. Guys, I'm going to use this machine in this particular lab, which is not what you're going to do. I'm going to use this as a client. Just to test this. I'm going to give an internal IP address, 172.16.0.4. I don't care about the name. I can do this all. So I'm going to SLMGR rearm new net IP 172.16.0.4. CIDR is 16. Default gateway is 172.16.0.1. Ethernet set DNS client server 172.16.0.2 Ethernet. Guys, I gotta reboot before I can set my name. Well, I don't know. Let me see if it'll allow me to do it. Add computer dash new name is CS client dash domain. Domain will be administrative. The domain name is Contoso. Restart. while that's coming up, I'm going to go over to DC1. I'm going to add that computer to that group. So under direct access, members, add, I call it client. Dang it.
Then look, you went in locations and you got to check.
Checked it, checked computer because it was a computer object. Guys, listen. Again, I'm going to sign in as a domain user. Guys, if this was a true DC, do not join it to the domain. DCs do not get joined to the domain. If you join it to the domain, all you're doing is adding a step to the promotion process. Guys, I changed this computer's group membership. It's not going to know about it. So I have to do a restart. All I'm doing is testing right now and uploading this to YouTube. Direct access. That's the name of the video. Guys, what was that command to test direct access? Get direct access something. Get DA. Get okay, this lets me know that my NCA has started. If I get red text here, that means my NCA, my Network Connectivity Assistant, hasn't started, which means I don't have my policy. Guys, you noticed that the last thing I did was join my computer to the domain, added my computer to that group, and then reboot it again so I know I get my policy. So now, guys, I'm going to take this computer, I'm going to move it out on the internet. So I'm getting my policies, no problem. So I'm going to take this and put this in fake public. And then I'm going to do a dynamic IP. The reason being is we set up a DHCP server to handle that fake public, to give fake public IPs. Okay, that's the IP of my NAT. So it's going to send DNS request resolution into my NAT. Who am I forwarding that to? To the actual DNS. Okay, and the policy will handle IPv6 resolution to the DA. So now I'm going to go here. Guys, and this might take a minute. Well, for me it did. Am I connected? Yes, I'm good. IP config. I'm on the internet. Can I ping CS01 VM1? I don't have that resolved to a name. Sorry. I meant VM2. No problem. Can I do GP update? So VM2 is my DC. Can I talk to my DC? Yes, I was able to ping it. Just updated my policy if I wanted to look at an IP. This is information my ISP gave me. Remember, this is our DHCP server. What's my default gateway? The fake internet. Can I still ping people on the internet and still communicate with people on the internet? You know, in some secure scenarios, guys, you might want to force all traffic through your, where am I? Right now, someone could go to a website and get some virus. And spread it on your internal network. So you might want to force all DNS clients to use, I just got to figure out where it is. Because there's a tunnel somewhere. I can't remember where it's at. Oh, this force tunneling. If you check that, that will require when a user is on the internet and tries to go to a website, they have to go through your corporation to get to that website. So if you want to filter out anything, you can do that. If you don't check that, the client will go directly to that website. If they get a virus, they can spread it internally to your network. So you might want to check that if need be. Other than that, how does everything look? Everything is good. You can see client. Do I have a client attached? Yes. What protocol is he using?
Where did the dollar sign come from after client? Did you put that in? Or?
Yep.
Oh.
Remember, just computer names always end in a dollar sign. Okay. Guys, you still have to do a child domain, a parent domain. You're going to have to play with FISMA roles. I think that was it for the midterm, right? For the final.